I'm Genevieve Lupton. Before Fuqua, I spent 7 years at Deloitte Consulting in the Atlanta and then later McLean, Virginia office. Before Deloitte, I went to Vanderbilt where I was a creative writing major, so writing short stories. And my family consists of a 2.5-year-old named Trent, and I am pregnant, show the bump, very pregnant with our second child, who is a girl, and she's due November 27th. He's at a really fun age because he can really talk and share what he's thinking about and his ideas. And so there's just like there's a lot to intrinsically enjoy about this phase. He's at the little school at Duke here on campus, so we joke that we both go to Duke right now. And he has a girlfriend, Savannah. He plays soccer at school. So we just like talk about it all, and it's a really fun part of my day to get to take a break from all this and see what's happening in his life. Some of my friends, when I started at Deloitte, who were 3 to 5 years older than me, were starting the on-deck process, which is when you're pitching your value proposition to become a partner in the consulting firm. And just seeing the amount of emphasis that network plays into that, and your ability to create a sustainable pipeline of clients and sales, even if there's a downturn in the economy or if the nature of what you're focused on shifts, whether it's industry or type of work you do. Really seeing the power of MBA's networks in those presentations and that story of why they are so valuable to Deloitte was really influential to me. And I also saw a difference, frankly, in their leadership, just having a chance to have time away from the rat race of work to think about who am I as a leader? How do I inspire others? How do I motivate? How do I convince? I just saw a difference in polish and authenticity in those individuals. And so it sort of inspired me to think differently about how an MBA may fit into my path. Because to be honest, when I was early on in my career, I was having so much fun and getting to travel internationally. I didn't see it as a must do. So I was pursuing the MBA at the same time I was pregnant with my first child. So I took the GMAT pregnant. I interviewed at Duke pregnant. I ended up deciding to defer my admissions by a year because my son would be so young when I started. I just thought I could be a better version of myself and better experience all that Fuqua has to offer if he was a little older. So that was sort of my path to Fuqua coincided completely with my path to becoming a mother. They were very tied together, and they were both things I was pursuing. Definitely had concerns, and at every school I applied to, I reached out and tried to ask that admissions connect me with current moms. And it was interesting that at certain schools, they could only connect me to men who were fathers, which is just really different than being a mother, especially when you have such a young child. So it was powerful that Fuqua had a lot of moms to connect me to, and just getting to hear how they made it work and what their tips and tricks were gave me the confidence that this was, one, a community that embraced women who are already mothers, and two, a community that existed because there were enough mothers to make it a table to get lunch with or a set of people to email with questions. So I had lots of concerns ranging from like academic to just getting the most out of an experience that's sort of designed to be this like self-centered time in life when you can't be self-centered because you're a mother. And one by one, I answered my questions and ultimately decided that this was the best school for me to achieve what I wanted with the MBA and have the life that I wanted as a mom. The amount of work that has to be done on a daily basis lends itself to really late nights and team meetings that tend to occur really late if they're not planned very proactively in advance. So one of the biggest things that's made me successful at Fuqua is to try to use the 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. hours to maximum efficiency and creating all my team meetings within that time frame. And of course, making exceptions when there had to be exceptions made or working virtually later at night. But I think for moms, it's especially hard to do the late night shift. So being proactive and figuring out, how do I still get everything I need to get done in more of the 9 to 5 zone is really challenging because of all the things that have to fit into an MBA's day. There's also the challenge of just like having enough time with your child so that they don't feel that you're not there. And I think stepping away from school and spending those evenings with my son before he goes to sleep is a great way to refresh my energy, just because I have a stopping point for thinking about all the things that school puts on my plate and get to focus on him and his life and whatever he wants to do in the evening before he goes to bed. And I actually think that's sort of like a hidden benefit. Sure, you might lose like that 4-hour chunk, but it actually gives you more energy to go back to the MBA stuff to have a true pause point. I think I am more patient than some of my friends, and it's because I live with a toddler. You have to be patient. It's like the phase of life. There was like a team meeting where someone said after me, like, you were so much more patient than I would have been with this person. And I didn't even think about the fact that I was being extra patient. So I think it gave me that quality that I don't know whether I'm a patient person or that's emerged in becoming a mother, but I took that feedback. I think a lot of people see me as having work life or school life balance just because I have a family. It's kind of like a value ascribed to me, and I guess I do because I have to, but it's definitely something peers say repeatedly as something that they admire, or if not admire, are respectful of, knowing there's more on my plate. But I guess for the most part, I mean, I'm still me, and having this time within the MBA, the 9 to 5 hours, I am me, and one of the aspects of me is that I'm a mother, but I'm the me that I also was before I became a mother too. So there's an element of the MBA that also just lets you maintain that core identity of like who you are innately, which I enjoy as well. Stepping between the identities of mom and MBA student.